Are you ready to be the best that you can be? Join hybrid business coach and consultant Charity Brown and her guest as they give you behind-the-scenes access to the insider tips and tricks that will help you take your business to the next level. Charity has an extraordinary approach to boosting businesses to break out of their modes, influence their industries, and become leaders of their packs. And she's ready to pass this inspiring knowledge on to you today. Learn how to change your game and build your business into what you've always dreamed of, right here on the Create Clarity with Charity podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Create Clarity with Charity podcast. Today we have an amazing guest. Cupid is in the house. Hey, Amber.
Hey, Charity.
Amber Lee from Luxury Matchmaking. It is so exciting to have you here because our Select Date Society is your business and is blowing up, right? You guys are offering love, connections, and quality at that.
Yes, we work with some of the most sought after singles in the country. We have clients throughout the United States, and not only are they high income earners and super successful, but they're serious about love. They really want to find their person.
That is so awesome because I think as singles out there have kind of been feeling defeated since COVID. There's not a lot of opportunity.
I think that you're right. A lot of people have felt defeated during COVID, but I will say the one positive thing that has come out of it is more singles are really prioritizing their love life. I hear it every day from people who just say oh my gosh, this has shown me I do not want to go through another pandemic, spending a year alone in the house. I want to find my person.
Yes. And, love is so important and we all need more of it. And it's really just not easy to find these days. Quality values and aligning with people that really meet your value system and, exploring that and going into a deep coaching and conversation with you guys, you really help that person visualize probably their perfect match and get them in alignment with love.
Yeah, like everything else in life, it's definitely mental. So we do a lot of kind of coaching with our clients, but it's really about putting them in front of the right people. A lot of the clients we work with, they're super high profile in their local community. You're not going to find them on the dating apps. They don't want to put their picture and profile out there. They have a ton of, great qualities and a lot to bring to the table. And they just want to be put in front of somebody who also, can offer just as much as they can.
Yes. And it's very intentional. So I think once people pull that trigger and they're like, I'm ready for love, I am done and fed up with, being alone and maybe even overexerting their own efforts on, the other sites where you just get a profile that probably isn't honest and probably isn't authentic and is probably just someone's, alter ego, maybe.
Yeah. And you know what? It doesn't necessarily mean they're coming from a bad place, but it's so easy to fudge things online. It's so easy if you're a guy to say you're a couple inches taller, if you're a woman to say you're a few pounds lighter. People don't do it with bad intentions, but it's so easy to be whoever you want to be. And so when you meet somebody in person, you're often disappointed because the person they portrayed themselves to be is often very different. You're looking at photos that were 5 or 10 years old and they've aged a lot since then.
Yeah, that's so true. So that's why you guys are the pros, because you vet them, right? You have a great framework that really puts the client through a process that kind of assures that you're getting the real deal and that you're not dealing with somebody who's not being honest.
Yes, I always tell my clients, I am your first line of defense. My job is to protect you from all the crap that's out there. And so if I don't feel good about somebody, they're not getting close to you. I'm putting the wall up and saying hey, you're not a great fit for my client. We're going to put you in front of the right person. And so I think that's what a good matchmaker is going to do for you. They're going to be looking out for your best interest and not just throwing you out on dates with just anyone.
Yes, that's so amazing. So it's like having an ally, right, in dating. I
Oh my
mean,
gosh,
it's
yes.
like having your new best girlfriend or, your big sis to help you get that dream date, right?
Yes, yes. It's like having a best girlfriend who is in the know and who knows all the hot singles throughout the country. So yeah, it's definitely like that.
Yes. Well, how lucky are they to have you guys? And because you have an amazing team. You have a great business partner. You have some really amazing people on your team that have helped build your business and really facilitate this awesome experience because it really is more of an experience, right?
Yes, yeah. And this is something like what we've achieved at Select Date Society. It's not an easy feat. Like no one person can get the results that we get for our clients on their own. It definitely takes a team effort. So Sandra Myers, my co-founder, her and I have been in the business for over 20 years each. We have decades of experience, and actually almost every matchmaker on our team has decades of experience. Like we've been in the love industry for a long, long time.
1998.
I
Woo!
know. Long
How's
time.
Yeah, that's great. So you guys really know the business, and that is so important because, and you guys are both successful in your partners with your husbands, and then have amazing relationships with them as well, right?
Yes, and that's what makes all the difference. I feel like you would not go to a hairstylist who has like a crappy hairdo herself, right? Like you would
Yeah.
not go to a plastic surgeon probably who doesn't have a great body himself. Like you want somebody who's an expert and understands what it takes. And so Sandra and I both have amazing husbands. We've both been in our relationships for over a decade. And I think that we really get it. Like we know what it takes to find the right partner. And if you ask either one of us, I'll tell you, we say it all the time, like we wouldn't have chose them. They probably wouldn't have chose us on a dating app, just swiping through pictures, because chemistry and attraction, it's not one dimensional. Like it happens in real life. You have to actually interact with somebody to see kind of how you're going to vibe together. And so
Mhm.
I think just we know from experience why singles get themselves in trouble in dating, and we help them to get, to get over those roadblocks.
Yeah. And we all need new coaching because the dating world has changed so much. And like, old family values of like, going out and bringing the flowers and opening the door. And, I love that. Like I've always enjoyed, romantic and those kind of classic dating qualities, traditional, but it's like we have lost so much of that. And to find somebody who resonates with your core values of feeling like I want to feel like a woman, I want to feel like I am being treated special, just like your Ritz-Carlton dating, like you guys cater to those higher end experiences so people really get the quality that they're looking for, which I love that. So with that being said, what you've created here is absolutely amazing. You have a great team, and Select Date Society was no easy feat to create. Like you're actually probably an angel sent back from heaven. Um, literally, the matchmaking angel has arrived. A very traumatic and hardcore experience that you had. Can you tell our guests about how Select Date Society all started and about what you've overcome?
Yeah, so Sandra and I have been colleagues in the matchmaking world for over a decade. I think we first met in 2009, and we've always said like, okay, we can do this better. We are working at big corporate matchmaking firms, and we knew that we could provide a better and a higher level service for our clients, but it was always kind of an idea we were just playing around with. And then last May 10th, 2020, in the middle of the pandemic on Mother's Day, I was driving with my husband, his mother, and our daughter in the car. And I was 40 years old at the time. I suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. Totally no warning signs. Like I've never had heart issues. It just happened. My heart literally stopped. I dropped dead behind the wheel. My foot was on the gas. I drove over 4 lanes of traffic and head on into a brick home. If you can imagine, like with the people you love the most in the world in that situation, thank God they were all okay.
And they were in
I
the car with you.
Yes, they were in the
Oh
car
my
with me.
gosh.
So actually the way the car crashed into this house, there were bushes on the side, shrubs, and my husband had to like really work to get the door open to pull me out of it.
Oh my God.
And thankfully, first responders were there within minutes. Actually, so I later learned that only 5% of sudden cardiac arrests that happen outside of the hospital survive. So there was a 95% chance I would have died that day. Thank
Oh,
God
wow.
that first responders were there in minutes. They used the defibrillator, were able to restart my heart. I thankfully have no memory of any of this. So I have no fears around driving or any fears of it happening again, because I don't even remember any of it. I woke up in the hospital 3 days later after being in
Wow.
a coma on a ventilator. And I just knew right away, like, and my husband laughs because he says I'm such a workaholic. He says the first thing out of my mouth was, "Bring me my laptop." But I said to him, I said, "I'm not going back to work for somebody else. Like, I'm ready. Let's do this." And so
Like
that's
literally
really,
in the hospital.
yes. So
Oh,
from my
wow.
hospital bed, Sandra and I, we got on the phone, we got the right team in place, and we got to work. And so that all happened May 10th. By June 1st, we were up and running, and Select Date Society was officially launched. So from that story, I'll just tell your listeners, I know a lot of entrepreneurs are listening. If you have a goal or a vision for the business you want to create, the life you want to create, like, take action now, because tomorrow is not promised. And so I think that's, like you and I have talked about, like, a lot of people have the vision, but they fail to implement, the action behind it. And so that's like a really key thing. If you're going to make this happen, you got to take action, do it now.
Yes, and nothing can stop you, not even a brick house, okay? Nothing is
But
stopping her from finding
yes,
you guys.
yes. And
Love.
yeah. And I think about, like, we have like so many relationships and marriages that have happened in the last year and a
Yeah,
half. And like, I really feel like, oh my gosh, like, out of every painful experience comes a blessing, right? And so
yeah,
even though I went through that really difficult, traumatic experience, if I wouldn't have went through that, like, these couples wouldn't be together right now, because, we
yeah.
would have formed this corporation. So it's just really magical how things have happened.
That is so inspirational. I love it. That's just so awesome. And it really puts, everything in perspective. Like, live in the now. We only have today. Find love because you deserve it. And now we have professionals to help us. So we're just not like aimlessly downloading apps trying to figure
Yes.
it out. It's like
Yeah,
window shopping. You're like, well, that's not any fun anymore. Like,
I know the apps were like entertaining when it's like Netflix. Like, at the beginning of the pandemic, everybody was watching all these Netflix shows. They were swiping on apps, but after a while, it's like, okay, like, let's get on with real life.
yeah. Yeah. Let's keep it real, people. And let's go for real love, not
Yeah.
fake love.
Yes.
So that's like so important about your service, because you're really building the foundation for an honest start, vetted, really true, authentic people aligning with their most values in the world. So you're not really wasting time when you finally find that match. So after you do all that work, what is the ratio of wins and losses here? Like, do you have like metrics and KPIs for matchmaking? Like, what are the ratios of success?
Yeah, so we have an 87% success rate.
Oh,
When
wow.
we take on a client, we tell them we're in it to win it. Like, we're not going to take you unless we can get the job done and get you into a successful relationship. So that means we don't take everyone. There are a lot of people that want to work with us that we interview, and we just don't feel it's the right fit. And that's okay. I mean, we have the resources, we point them in a different direction. But yeah, we definitely, not only do we track our business KPIs, but we track our matchmaking successes as well.
Awesome. That is so crucial. And speaking of KPIs, that's my favorite subject, those numbers. I can never get away from it. It's just so crucial. Like, with building a business like this, your CRM KPIs, your marketing KPIs, your financial KPIs, like, everything is driven by numbers, right? You have like a financial GPS or a numbers GPS that helps you scale your business, because you've done this very fast and rapid. So you had to have those dialed in.
Yeah, we know our numbers. From the very beginning, we knew our numbers. We knew exactly what our goal was going to be month one. We knew exactly how many leads we needed to get in the door, what our conversion rate needed to be. So we planned big. We knew what we wanted to hit as far as a goal, and then we backed into that. So planning and knowing our numbers was a huge, huge part of our success.
Yes, and that all leads into very strategic planning at the beginning of this. So it wasn't just a vision for you jump out of the hospital bed and you go get the keys to your new office and turn the switch on and boom, there's your website and now you're in business, right? It's a
Right.
lot more complicated.
Right. So for example, just the simple things like making a website, like Sandra and I aren't coders. We're not website designers. We know what we wanted it to look and feel like, but we needed to put the right person in the right position in order to make that happen. And so there are a lot of little pieces along the way that we've outsourced to experts to get us to where we want to be.
Yes, that's awesome because that delegation, execution of the plan and delegation is like the reason why people either win or fail, honestly,
Yes.
because you could do a sloppy pass, have this great idea and you got it all dialed in your head, but you don't do the planning, you don't sketch out the numbers, you don't, do your SWOT test and then you jump in both feet first, put in your 100K, blow up your marketing budget, and then end up losing and wonder where it went wrong, why the team wasn't responding, why there's a broken link here, why this system wasn't in place. And then, and it all boils right back down to the very beginning of the planning and execution. And so that's why this, Create Clarity with Charity podcast is here, is to remind these amazing entrepreneurs, business owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and these big CEOs, chief everything officers, understand that if you're going to wear all the hats, you got to learn to delegate and you got to learn to have a team. And you guys have executed that amazingly because you do have a world-class team there. So let's talk about that, because it takes a special person to be a leader and to lead a team. And you've done it well. And so what kind of mindset, to be as determined, motivated as you are, have you had coaching or mentors or, what gets you jumping out of bed and, turning the love light on for everyone?
Absolutely. So I've been in this business for 23 years. I've had a ton of mentors as far as, just really amazing women, powerful matchmakers that I've worked with throughout the years. Had a ton of sales training. I will say as a business owner, like your most refined skill should be sales. You should be able to sell people on whatever idea you're putting out there. And so training on confidence and sales skills, like I would definitely recommend if you haven't had that training to get it. But yeah, coaching along the way too. I feel like I have a built-in accountability partner with Sandra because she is much more like I'm fluffy, lovey-dovey. And this is how we work with our team too. I think we're able to get so much done because I give them the love and, the good feels. And then Sandra is the one that's just really like not afraid of confrontation and like, here's the numbers, this is what we need to do. And so we hold each other accountable. We know what our goals are, what the plan is, but we definitely are there tracking everything and holding each other accountable. And that's the key to success. Like you not only have to have a plan and execute, but you need somebody who's going to measure and hold you accountable, because let's face it, we're not going to, if it was that easy, we'd all be at our ideal weight. We'd all be at optimum health. Like it's not easy to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, and that is numero uno for scaling to a whole new level, is holding yourself accountable and having also someone else doing that. That's a sure way for success.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. I really love that. And I love that you guys invest in your staff. Like, I heard about the Tiffany necklaces and the Ritz Carlton and everything. And it just makes me want to like work more with you guys, because empowering the people that are holding your team together is so amazing.
Yeah,
And
we can't cut corners when it comes to investing in our business or our team. Like I shared with you, to celebrate our 1 year anniversary, we said, hey, we're calling ourselves the Ritz-Carlton of matchmaking, but does our team even know like what that feels like, what that looks like? And so we took them all to the Ritz-Carlton for a couple days to celebrate and got them beautiful rooms there and had an amazing team dinner there and really splurged on some things to make them feel the way that we want them to make our clients feel.
that is such an amazing learning experience too, because that's the best way to learn, is to experience it yourself. So if we all had a weekend at the Ritz-Carlton, we'd probably treat all our clients better.
Exactly.
So cool. I love it. Yeah. So there's the future of Select Date Society. Are you guys working on some big things?
We are. I mean, we're constantly, Sandra and I are super motivated. We're go-getters. And so we're always looking at what we're going to do to take it to the next level.
You guys have
So
an app?
we don't have an app. No, our website is mobile friendly. And so we know that in the world we're living in, most of our users are looking at us scrolling in bed at night, either on their iPad or their phone. So it is mobile friendly. But yeah, that's one of the things that, could be in the works for sure.
Yeah, but they probably are actually the clients that come to you probably don't want an app actually on their phone, because they want that more authentic, organic experience. So
Yeah, yeah.
probably stepping away from that whole app.
Yeah, and really even our website, it's really, I mean, there's information, it's informative, but once you're a client, like we're old-fashioned matchmakers, you're going to feel the love and connection from us because we're working with our clients really closely at a really intimate, personal level.
I love that. Yeah, I think everyone out there, it's time to find love, and if you want some pros to help you do it very strategically, so you are in alignment with your best match, get with Amber Lee and her team at selectdatesociety.com. And Amber, is there anything else we should tell the listeners? Let's see.
Yeah. So for listeners of the show, go to selectdatesociety.com/inquiry. Or when you're on our website, just hit the inquiry button. You can submit your information. If you select the way you heard about us was the Create Clarity with Charity podcast, we will do a free personal Enneagram assessment with you. If you haven't heard of the Enneagram, it's a really great personality traits quiz. It tells you so much about who you are at your core, where you go at your best and where you go at your worst. Of course, we're going to relate that to dating and be able to tell you your strengths and your blind spots. So we would love for you to fill out the form. We'll get in contact with you and we'll do that assessment. And if you're interested in finding love and finding the right person, we can certainly talk to you more about that as well.
Yay! I'm so excited for you guys to get in touch with Amber Lee. Thank you so much, Amber. It was such a pleasure having you on the show today.
Thanks, Charity.
And happy dating.